Highbury 2001, and the meeting of two clubs who knew what it took to be Premier League champions. After winning the Premiership and the FA Cup in manager Arsene Wenger's first full season in charge, the Gunners have been unable to add to their trophy collection and were increasingly frustrated at being runners-up to Manchester United. They'd had a good week in the Champions League, though, and could end it by going top of the Premiership. Dennis Bergkamp started only his fourth game up front, replacing Sylvain Wiltord. David Seaman was left holding the baby, still out with a shoulder injury. His replacement, Richard Wright, had saved a penalty in the win against Panathinaikos in the Champions League and continued. Defenders Tony Adams, Sol Campbell and Ashley Cole were all out, with Martin Keown, Ray Parlour and Gilles Grimondi recalled to the starting 11. Graham Souness had brought his team back into the big time after 2 years in Division 1, and they'd come back in style, hammering West Ham 7-1. He picked a 4-5-1 formation with the experienced Craig Short replacing Niels-Erik Johansson in defence. Matt Jansen was the lone striker. Martin Tyler is the commentator.
Blackburn's last visit here was as recently as last March, the quarter-final of the FA Cup. That game was almost lost as soon as it had begun. They were 2 down in 5 minutes, eventually succumbing by 3-0. Long by Upson, and Berg attracted to a ball that was defended well enough without his intervention by Lucas Neal. Arsenal are second in the table. They're a point behind the leaders Leeds, who don't play until tomorrow. A draw could take them top, but even a win doesn't guarantee leadership of the FA Barclaycard Premiership tonight. Manchester United, as you would expect, very much in the mix, and they trail Arsenal by goal difference, but a big win for United at home to Bolton today could of course change that. Biel, and ball by Flitcroft. Vieira. Ups, Parlour. He was playing for a corner. Clearly should have got one. The assistant Trevor Massey on this near side didn't see it that way. He had the best view of the 3 officials. Now Dunn. It's dipping, and it's not very far away. David Dunn, given this particular role today to get forward from a 5-man midfield and be the one of that quintet really to get within range of goal, and he came very close on that occasion. Björneby. Part of the plan from Graham Souness, the wide players like Johnson on that occasion. Goes down the Arsenal fullbacks. This is going to be hard work, you feel, for Arsenal, unless they open the game up. And of course they do have inspiring international players capable of doing that. Up from Pires to Van Bronckhorst. Robert Pires again. Almost through to Bergkamp. Good reach by Berg. Now Dunn. Björneby. Jansen set himself right for that. Pires. It's run, fortunately for Arsenal, to Dennis Bergkamp, who looks to curl it and had Friedel diving in some desperation. Not sure where the ball might end up behind him, but fortunately for Friedel and Blackburn, it's not curled in. Jansen's onside. Lowry. Parlour just in field of it. Well, Ray Parlour got a foot to the ball first. There's always going to be a foul by Shaw. What hasn't helped him is a lack of balance as well as he went in, and he's come out of it limping. Not too seriously. It's Van Bronckhorst to take the free kick. It's just too high for Keown. Pires. Skipped away and used the full perimeter of the pitch. Robert Pires just too high for Henry. Lauer hung up towards Henry. Manfred had started to come, but in the end wasn't caught in no man's land. He was on his way back to his line. It was just a gentle contact with the header by Henry in the end. As if most of the energy had gone into the jump. Oh, Lawrence lost it here to Dunn, has it? Well, he had. Mondi got back, and the whistle goes against David Dunn. It's pressure on an Arsenal defender who thought he had more time than Blackburn were in the end prepared to allow him. Björneby. Johnson tracking back a bit into trouble. Parler. Now Lara. Made space for the shot. And just put it the wrong side from Arsenal's perspective of Brad Friedel's right-hand post. But Damien Johnson will be relieved about this. He turned back into trouble. But it stays at 0-0. Parler got to the ball and again it's been pulled back, again in Arsenal's favour. Just one of those spells in a match that happens to referees. Dennis Bergkamp having a word with Uriah Rennie. Bergkamp takes it. Well, it was a very good climb by Henry. And he put it into an area where maybe he was looking for goal, maybe he was looking for a teammate just to come in and apply the finishing touch. But it fell between those two stools. Bergkamp. Now there is some space for Arsenal. Hasn't been there very much of it. Bergkamp! Well, he was going top corner here. And he's quite capable of finding it. To Blackburn's undoubted relief. The aim not quite true, not quite. Forward by Björneby and then forward by Lauren, Tugay. Very good footwork from the Turk. Flickcroft. Keeps it going right again. Gillespie. Neal. He's rather scuffed across. Given another chance, Lucas Neal. This time it's a shot. Wright has to deal with from the Australian. Parler. I guess they're part of that. Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half. Janssen. Excellent work by Matt Jansen. Now Gillespie. And it's found its way in. Keith Gillespie for Blackburn Rovers. Well, Richard Wright, very unhappy. But the ball, in the end, bulged his net. It didn't bulge it by very much because it wasn't perhaps the strongest shot. But for Gillespie, it's a splendid moment on his return to the team, with a deflection to help him out. We're into the minute to be added on before half-time. Blackburn back with their full complement. Pires, the Arsenal's last attack of the half. Johnson. Bergkamp penalised. Guy with his wits about him. A quick free kick, so too Jansen. He was off and running. Two-guy. Dunn. Comes out to Flitcroft. First of all, David Dunn was trying to turn, and a turn would have got him in behind Arsenal, I think. It's half-time at Highbury. So far, so good for Blackburn Rovers, with their 4-5-1 strategy accommodating the return of Keith Gillespie, who will claim the goal, although it went in off Van Bronckhorst. Brad Friedel has had one or two awkward moments, but for the most part, Arsenal have been stifled here in front of their own supporters by a very shrewd Blackburn Rovers strategy, and they've got the bonus of the goal as well. Arsenal 0, Blackburn 1 at the break. Arsenal set the second half underway. 1-0 down here in the FA Barclaycard Premiership to a side that's already shown some spine, some backbone in their away games, but has had the precious little reward for it since their return to the Premiership for this season. Finished second to Fulham in the First Division. Vieira. Must be with the other part of his job to help defend on the Arsenal left. Neil's throw. Everybody melted away from it, attackers and defenders, until Richard Wright came to collect. Arsenal do have Sylvain Wiltor amongst their substitutes, Freddie Ljungberg as well, who used to pep up midfield. Kanu, of whom precious little has been seen really in this campaign. As a substitute. Here's Johnson. Seen off by Grimondi. Broncos. Bergkamp. Pires, he will get to it. And he's equalised! Robert Pires in the 3rd minute of the second half. Blackburn rather stood off him in the end. Arsene Wenger would have had a great angle on the shot from the other side of the ground. But he got the ball a bit fortunately, Pires, in the first place. But from then on, showed plenty of ambition and an angular shot, and another deflection, this time off Henning Berg. Both goals aided unwittingly by defenders. Henry, Bergkamp, fine tackle by Lucas Neal. And Friedel really had to put a bit of a slice on that to kick away from the on-rushing Henry. Stopped by Tuga. Janssen, but Pires making up for his own mistake. Van Bronckhorst. Shrewdly away by Berg. If he'd headed it directly back towards the halfway line, it might easily have been picked up by Thierry Henry. Parla. Grimondi. Pires. Lara. For Bergkamp to strike first time, and he made good ground to get there first. Whether it just sat up, it might have done, although this Arsenal pitch is usually near perfect. Couldn't control the shot in any case. Well, Henry and Bergkamp and Pires and Lucas Neal, the player down for Blackburn. Arsenal still going on. Bergkamp, and it's in. Brad Friedel did his best, but the ball in the end crossed the line, and what a turnaround inside 8 minutes. Arsenal came out for this second half 1 down, and now 2-1 up. Blackburn had a player down here out of the picture, and it was a defender, Neal, who's still limping, but Arsenal showed no sympathy. Friedel, for all his agility, couldn't stop Bergkamp, putting the Gunners in front for the first time today. Beaten by the spin. They just need to clear their heads and get back to what they were doing well in the first half. Dunn. Well, strangely, when Blackburn were last here in the FA Cup, it was the early minutes of the first half that undid them. It could well be the early minutes of the second half that see them defeated here. Keogh. First of all, one wondered whether Rennie was stopping the game simply because of a head injury. Was Henry on Neal, and no free kick was given. And Souness will be sorely troubled by that. By Lauren. Dunn. David Dunn from very long range has put it in the bottom corner. Blackburn back at 2-2. Well, asked to support just one striker in this Blackburn formation, and well, this is the way to attack from midfield. It's typical Dunn, really. Pires, Vieira, Pires again. Henry is onside. Out comes Friedel. very effectively. It's been a feature of Brad Friedel's goalkeeping today, his reading of the play and his speed out at the feet of oncoming Arsenal attackers. Vieira. Kanu. Bergkamp! It's another brilliant stop by Friedel, because Dennis Bergkamp could hardly have hit that harder or truer. But extremely well hit. Kanu. And Bronkhorst onside. Bergkamp couldn't find a foot to connect with the cross. Bergkamp. Dunn. Dunn again. Vieira got it back for Arsenal, swept in by Bergkamp to the feet of Wiltor. Henry, can he make space for himself? He does! 12 minutes to go! Another twist to this engrossing tale at Highbury today. And having watched others make inroads, for Arsenal, the top scorer now gets in on the act. Wiltor, only recently brought on, Henry checking back, found the angle on the left foot. And it's now Arsenal 3, Blackburn Rovers 2. Hignett. Two-guy. Room for Neil to come forward into. It's curved towards Bent. Wright can only knock it down. He's back on his feet. Flitcroft can't set himself for a shot. Hignett might, and does. Blackburn Rovers refusing to let go here. 1-0 up at half-time, suddenly 2-1 down at the start of the second half, back to 2-2 now, needing a goal to get level again. And with Richard Wright struggling a bit here. Hignett looking for something from the Dennis Bergkamp textbook. Dunn. Two-guy, got the better of Grimandi. Gary Flitcroft. Richard Wright comes out. Dunn. David Dunn has turned it in. It's 3-3. 2 minutes left. Well, pats on the back all round for Blackburn Rovers. But for Dunn in particular, Flitcroft couldn't quite get there. The goalkeeper made his save, but the ball broke to David Dunn, reaching for it with his left foot. Arsenal 3, Blackburn Rovers 3. Henry. This is Kanu. Bergkamp. And Bronkhorst. Wonderful stop by Friedel. By no means his first today. He's had a fabulous game, the Blackburn goalkeeper. And but for him, Arsenal would be home and dry now. Friedel comes through the crowd and deals with the corner. Blackburn push out, but not too far. Curved back in by Bergkamp. Henry raised around him. Well, Arsenal go above Leeds United. They'll have to wait for news from Manchester United to know whether they'll top the table tonight. But what a game in the second half. But in the end, maybe a draw, a fair result. But it was a fantastic second half. Arsenal 3, Blackburn Rovers 3.
Points dropped, but Arsenal went on to be champions. The Gunners scored in every Premiership game, inspired by Thierry Henry, who finished the season top scorer with 24 goals. Blackburn also had a successful campaign. They beat Tottenham 2-1 in the League Cup final to lift the trophy for the first time. They then climbed from 18th in late February to finish 10th, higher than any other newly promoted team that season. Progress had been made.